I have never actually beaten Terraria before. Well, at least not on all four of the difficulties. Therefore, I've set myself the challenge to complete Terraria the right way, starting off with a journey playthrough. My goal is to improve my building, beat all of the bosses, use all of the different classes, and of course, stop the spread of the corruption. This is episode 4 of my Terraria journey as a summoner, and I hope you enjoy the video. Here we are, back for another episode of the journey mode playthrough as a summoner. So in the previous episode we did fight the King Slime and we managed to get the trophy for both him and the Eye of Cthulhu. I also got the pygmy necklace from the Witch Doctor, which means that I can now summon a total of 4 minions, making me a lot stronger. The next thing that I am going to do is head over to the Crimson biome because I want to fight the Brain of Cthulhu, which is very important since he drops a key material for me, the tissue sample. So the reason that I want the tissue sample is because I needed to craft the next set of armor for my summoner setup, which is obsidian armor. Now to craft a full set of obsidian armor, what I need is 20 tissue sample, 30 pieces of silk, and then 60 blocks of obsidian. And then I'm going to head over to a Howl Forge in the underworld where I can craft this. Now, there are 2 ways to summon the Brain of Cthulhu, and the first one is with a Bloody Spine, which I am not going to be doing. The reason for this is that I would have to collect 15 vertebrae and get a lot of vicious powder, which is going to take too long. So instead, I am going to head into the Crimson Cave, where I have to smash 3 heart orbs, which then summons the Brain of Cthulhu instantly. I was also pretty lucky and ended up finding a heart crystal in the Crimson Cave, which always helps. From where I was standing, there weren't many heart orbs visible, which was a bit annoying. However, I decided to just bomb down until I find one. In the meantime, a traveling merchant had arrived, and I decided to head back so that I could pay him a visit. I was glad to see that this traveling merchant could sell me a lifeform analyzer and a nice decorative item, which is the leopard skin. And not only did I get the lifeform analyzer, but I also got the DPS meter. I was pretty disappointed that the traveling merchant did not sell dynasty wood and shingles, since it is my favorite building material to work with. And since it is journey mode, I would only need him to sell it to me once, because I could then duplicate the items, as you've just seen me doing. I forgot to mention that there was a slime rain going on which had just come to an end, and as I was walking to the Crimson biome, the King Slime spawned. With that out of the way, I now continue towards the Crimson biome. There really wasn't much going on as I was looking around here, but I did find yet another heart crystal and an orb underneath it. With the second orb destroyed, we now only have 1 left to go, and I was lucky and found pretty easily right next to the previous one. Just like that, the Brain of Cthulhu had spawned, and it was time to get my tissue sample. There we go, we beat the Brain of Cthulhu, and we got the tissue sample. Unfortunately, I did not get the trophy, so I'm gonna have to fight him again sometime, but that doesn't matter at the moment. With that out of the way, it is time to go gather some obsidian so that I can craft my new set of obsidian armor. The easiest way to get obsidian is to mix lava and water. So I'm going to craft a bunch of water buckets, fill it with water, and then throw it on lava that I find in caves. Usually this takes a long time and is pretty expensive in normal Terraria, but since it is journey mode, I could just duplicate a single bucket of water and then use as much as I would like. Here I found a water supply near the surface, which means that I could fill the bucket and then just do the duplication and head deeper into the cave. As you can see, there was already a little bit of obsidian here, but not really enough, so I just continued to pour the water. I had forgotten that I was still using an iron pickaxe, which is in fact not strong enough to mine obsidian, so I had to head back home and craft myself a crimson pickaxe. And while I was at it, I decided to also upgrade the rest of my tools like the axe and the hammer. With that out of the way, it was time to go and mine the obsidian that I had produced. I had finally gotten enough obsidian, which meant that I could now duplicate it and go and craft my armor. When I came home, I noticed that a meteor had landed that day since the Brain of Cthulhu had been defeated, and I quickly wanted to explore it and see if it didn't land on one of my houses, which luckily it did not. The meteor had landed right at the edge of the desert, which means that it would leave a very big hole, so I would need to get a lot of sand, and luckily I can do this, since in journey mode I can duplicate items, so I quickly got that done. I tried to get some mining done, but I was being attacked the whole time, and also I did not have an obsidian skull, which meant that I could not stand on the meteorite ore without being burned. The time had finally come for me to craft my obsidian armor, so I quickly got the materials from the crafting menu and headed to the underworld so that I could get myself a hell forge. While I was at it, and since I had the obsidian, I decided to craft myself an obsidian skull along with the armor. Here we go, now with the full set of obsidian armor, and I see that the set bonus is actually gonna give me a big increase in damage, which is good. I noticed that with my unlimited platinum and silk, I could craft a throne, which I definitely did, and decided to give it to the guide. While I was busy crafting, I also decided to make myself a platinum watch so that I could see the time, and this would be useful to me since tonight I wanted to fight Skeletron, which can only be done between 7 PM and 4 AM I think. I made my way towards the snow biome, and when I arrived there I was encountered with a snowstorm. This didn't really bother me that much. All I wanted to do was some building, which I could do in a snowstorm in any case. And the only reason that I was building right now is because I was waiting for it to become night so that I can do my Skeletron fight. And just like that, another house was finished, so hopefully another NPC would move in soon. And since there was nothing left to do and it was already night, I headed towards the dungeon where I would be fighting Skeletron.